Welcome to Box Wine Therapy, where the wine is cheap and the therapy's priceless. We're two best friends, a couple of moms, and professional oversharers here to spill the wine and real life. I'm Kayla. I'm Hannah. Now let's get it started.
There.
Accidentally. Yeah, we got a little Christmas tree in here.
So cute. Jingle jangle.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was okay.
You guys had a Christmas party too, didn't you?
Yeah, Keith did, but I had to stay home because Maddie had a
Mm,
cold.
yeah.
It was pretty nasty.
Understand that. We've had RSV all week. Fun stuff. As if we don't have enough. Ashley texted me the other day and was like, girl, how are you keeping it all together with all this shit that life keeps throwing at you?
No
And that was
kidding.
like the day before I had my panic attack. And I was like,
Oh,
um, just dark humor and wine. And then the next
and
day I
then
had my
release came.
first big old panic attack. So
Yeah, ugh. I've never had one, but I can only imagine.
I think I've come close before, but this was 100% full blown. Like I was like, I can't catch my breath. And I felt like I
Yeah.
was going to have a asthma attack almost. And I'm sitting in the parking lot at work doing this because I cried the whole way to work. And then this guy from one of our other offices, we have like 3 offices in our area that all work together, but we don't know each other really. I think he was one of the bigwigs at the other office, and he's like walking by and he hears my
Ugh.
phone ringing in the car because I'm trying to call Rusty, and he like
Yeah.
turns to look at me and I'm like, go away.
Oh,
He was probably like, what the fuck is happening in there? Like, just
yeah, no kidding.
stop looking at me. Go. Like, don't just stand there.
What even brought it on?
First, I was crying because I was so happy that morning thinking that
Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't know, I was supposed to bake Kayla a cake of what the gender was of her baby, but we're impatient.
Yeah, I
We, as
can't
in
wait.
both of us. She
Because
couldn't
what did
wait.
we found out on Tuesday.
Yeah. And it was going to be Sunday before you found out.
Yeah.
And
And I was
so
like, I can't
I
I
said,
can't
how
wait that
about
much.
I order you a onesie on Amazon and we just ship it straight to your house? And she was
Yeah.
like, okay. So it was coming Thursday. So Thursday morning, I text Kayla and I said, oh my gosh, today is the day you get to finally picture the rest of your life. How exciting is
Yeah.
that? And then that made me tear up and start crying. And then I get in my car and then it's Christina Perry's Thousand Years
Mm.
on. And I just start bawling to that. And I was like, okay, happy tears. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'm not handling my stress well, or maybe I'm close to my period. And I was so close to my period still. Got it today. From this podcast, everybody could time my regularity perfectly. And so I was like, oh, good. It's within a week. That's why I'm just so hormonal today. And then I just kept picturing so I am deathly terrified to be put under to go to sleep. And like I explained it to a few people as you can't tell my brain that it's not the same thing as telling me that on the 29th I walk off a cliff to my death. Like
Oh
my
gosh.
brain doesn't comprehend the difference of you're getting put to sleep for a colonoscopy or you're getting shoved off a cliff to your death that day. Like it's all
Dang.
the same. So I just kept picturing I'm going to have to say goodbye to the kids that morning. And then that could be the last time I say goodbye to the girls. And what if they think this was all elective and mom chose to do this surgery and she dies when they're 2 and 3? And I'm like, "Ugh." And so then that made me start bawling because I'm like, they're going to need me and I'm not going to be there. And I realize how out of the realm of reality this is. That's anxiety for you.
I was gonna
We,
say there's no reasoning with that kind of thinking because you've only been put to sleep one other time that you even remember, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So,
And I was this terrified for that time too. So yeah,
yeah.
I think it's just a full blown phobia of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was freaking
Oh,
out
and
about
I'm like,
that.
"Oh, man, it's the best." Like, the last time that that I was put to sleep was for my Barbie butt surgery, and they gave me a real good anti-anxiety medication or
Oh, I
whatever,
can't
one that just
wait.
you were just like, "Ah," like you're on a beach thousands of miles away. You got cabana boys bringing you umbrella drinks. It is the most luxurious vacation-y type feel, whole
I need
body,
it
and
days
then
before.
yeah, I
How
get
many
that in a
days in
week.
advance can I get this?
I
Every
would
day.
like some extras of those just to be able to go on my own vacation whenever I want. I mean, I guess not. It has to be in a controlled space, but
Right, right, right. Doctors and stuff. Yeah.
but man, it's
Yeah.
nice. And
I
then it's
just,
crazy, especially so like the colonoscopy when you're only under for just a short period of time. Like every time I had my colonoscopies, I had to be put out totally because the amnesia drug didn't work for me. I don't know
yeah,
what it's
he
actually
told me
called, but
he told
it's
me out completely for mine.
yeah. and you're only out for I'm gonna say 30 minutes, it's probably
Yeah,
not even that long,
that's what he told me,
but,
about
like
30.
oh, okay. You feel like you slept 8 hours. Like, you wake
S
up and you're just like, "Yeah,
Not
it's
only did
great."
you tell me that, I had 4 other moms message me
Oh,
and go, "Girl, it is the best nap of your freaking life." They're like,
you haven't
"You just
slept
go
that
in,
good
people
since
take
before
care
bed.
of you, you get
Yeah,
this great drug, and you sleep, and you feel like you slept 4 to 8 hours." And they're like,
and
"You'll
look
be
at
in
it this
heaven."
way, you get it twice in a matter of a couple months. Like, once you get that
Oh. Oh, cool. Thanks.
no, but once you feel it, you
I
know,
know.
it'll be
Uh,
more fresh in your mind, and you'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
I think I'll feel better once I make it out of my colonoscopy, but I'm just like I just kept picturing, so first I have that I have to not look like a crazy psycho, screaming, crying, hugging my kids that morning. Like, I have to, like, hold it together and be strong because Lemmy's so perceptive to everything. I just don't want her to feel scared for me.
Yeah,
And, like, Brooklyn, I'm not worried about. She won't notice anything, but Lemmy notices.
yeah.
And, like, she'll even hear people talking now and go, "Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me?" Right, "No? No?" So so I'm just like, "Ugh, I just don't want her to be scared for me," and then she acts up, and then Rusty's already gonna be on edge because he's gonna be scared for me trying to be strong, and then, I just don't want it, and then knowing that I have to do it twice, I've already, like I've stopped sleeping really for
Really?
granted, the RSV has kept us up, but
Yeah.
I've been sleeping so good for the past few months, and now for the last week and a half, I just can't sleep through the night, and if I wake up, my brain starts racing immediately, and I'm like, "What if it's my last time to say goodbye to the girls? What if I die
Oh,
from
man.
this? What if I go septic? What if" like,
Oh god.
yeah,
You need
so
what's that, deep brain hypnosis?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
EMDR?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what you need.
Can you get it beforehand?
I don't know.
I thought it
Or
was for, like, PTSD, like, for something after.
yeah, but I feel like it is. Yours is after a first time of something.
Yeah.
It came from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so I had my first panic attack. That was real fun. And anyways, so is it a girl? Is it a boy?
Drum roll.
Oh
It's
boy.
it's a boy.
We're having a
I
baby
was
boy.
so whenever we got the package, it didn't get delivered until like a half hour before Keith got home,
I know, of
which
course.
was probably for the best
You would have
because
snuck a
as
peek.
soon as but
You would have snuck a peek.
I was trying anyway. I was trying to like look through and I'm like, looks pretty
Hey,
dark in there. I think
did
it's
you
pretty
ever
dark.
did you ever open that circle thing? The wood thing?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say behind it was the pretty one that says "baby boy."
Yeah, I did see that. Yep.
In your
And
video, when you opened it, you were like, "Oh, look, no, it just says the weight and stuff." I'm like, "No, it's supposed
maybe
to
I
say
tr
behind it."
maybe the video stopped, but like oh yeah, the video had stopped already
Yeah,
because
okay.
Maddie ended up being like, "Open," and so I opened it and I was like, "Oh, that is cute."
It was
But
funny.
it
You
had
were
the
like, "Maddie, are you excited?" And she's like,
I was laughing. I was when I first had noticed, when I was peeking through trying to see what color,
Mhm.
I was like, it's dark, it's blue, it's got to be blue." And I'm like, but maybe it's in a black package and it's actually pink, or maybe it's like white with something, but it's like in another thing. I was like, I don't know. And then so I'm like, but if it's a boy, I just have to like get my head around because I just was so it's crazy because in the beginning, I was like, "It's a boy for sure," and then it was kinda like flip-flopping the whole pregnancy, like, I've never really felt strongly that it's
Either
one way
way,
or the other,
yeah,
and so and I just think I kept tricking myself into thinking like, "Well, I've got girl clothes, so it's just gonna be an easier transition for it to be a girl," so, like, conveniently, it just has to be a girl,
yeah.
and then I'm like, "Okay, well, but now I have to get myself psyched up for if it is a boy, you can't change it, so you're just like, you gotta go."
No, you can't.
So then I was, like, shocked. And I don't wanna say sad, but I guess kind of a little sad
It's
at
okay to
first.
have a little disappointment.
Yeah, and then
They
it
call
only
it gender
lasted for, like
disappointment. It's a term.
yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what's crazy too? So, when I was feeling that way, it was before Keith got home and before we opened it, you know? And so I looked on my What to Expect When You're Expecting app because there's been a ton of posts on there. Like, everybody in my group this time is like, gender disappointment is the biggest
Yeah,
hot topic. And, so I was looking on there, and then it was like, what to do if you do feel this. And so I was like, okay, it's kind of a common thing, whether
yeah,
people wanted one of each, and that feels like the typical dream, you know?
yeah.
And so then I was like, "Okay." Anyway, whatever. So I got over it pretty quickly because then by the next morning, I was really excited. So that's good. And now it's been like a more fun way instead of it feeling like, "Oh," I think I was just thinking more of like, "Oh, if it's a girl, it could just be like,
You already know
no
what you're
prep,
doing.
no nothing, whatever." But now it's kind of like the exciting newness of it
Well,
again.
and you're somebody who doesn't like change.
Yeah.
So to
Mhm.
know that, like, if you have a girl, you're like, "Oh, I got this." Like,
Right.
I've done baby girls, and now a baby boy's like, "Ah,
I
I haven't
know.
done that."
You're challenging it, and I'm like, "Oh, girl."
It's still a baby, but it's a little different.
Yep. Just a wee bit.
Just a wee
But
bit.
I'm excited because Maddie and I are so close right now. She's like my little bestie, and so I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I can still be like, "Oh, you're my favorite daughter," and then I
Yeah.
can be like, "You're my favorite son," and it's
You're my
just a
favorite little
different.
girl.
Yeah, like, they're just gonna be just different relationships,
Yeah.
which is exciting. We went to the park today, and there was 3 little boys playing there. 2 were with a mom and a grandma, and
Mhm.
they were, like, wild, and even the mom was just more wild. And then the other little boy that was there and it was, like, scaring Maddie because he just had no personal bubble, and he
Ugh,
was, like, coming right up to her and, like, wanting to play, but, like, aggressively. And then the other little boy was with a mom and dad, and they just were more, like, calm and whatever, and then the
and you're
the
like,
baby was
that
more
one.
calm. I was like, "Oh, nice." So so then, we went over because they were on the swings, and Maddie wanted to swing too, so got them to swing next to each other, and they were just kinda like, "Hmm." And then she kept wanting to, like, play next to him the whole time. It was just sweet. He's, like, 4 months younger than her,
Cute.
and so I was like, "Oh, that's l" but she just is very intimidated. It's weird because she's intimidated by wild little boys that wanna play with her, but if we go somewhere, like, there's this in our neighborhood, a little green space outside of a Mexican restaurant, and so when all the boys are playing out there, playing football and running around, she's like, "Gotta be part of it, like, I
Yeah.
wanna go out there with them."
But she
And
doesn't she's like, "I need to initiate."
right, exactly, yep, she's like, "I can't you don't come on my bubble,
Yeah.
I'll decide."
Yeah.
So,
I know I
it
just
was
kept
just fun.
picturing the whole time, I was like, "Oh, I feel like as much as I wanted it to be a little girl so we could be the double girl moms
Yeah.
and not worry about anything when our kids get older, I was like, I just picture snuggling a little boy.
I know,
And
same.
I didn't
Any
know
dream
if it was
I've had has
because
been a little boy.
like, when I had my miscarriage, that was the first one I was like, "It's gotta be a little" or the big one. I was like, "It's gotta be a little boy," like, I just felt the whole way. So I was like,
Yep,
maybe it's because I feel like I was always supposed to snuggle a little boy, but then I
yeah,
was like, "I don't know, I feel like she's having a little boy."
yep,
And so I'm like, "We got a little boy to snuggle." I'm so
it was
excited.
nuts. That
It's
it's
gonna have nuts.
I know, that's weird. All that stuff, I'm like, "Ugh." The whole they pee everywhere outside, no, I don't like that.
At least you're a very open mom. Oh,
Yeah.
Lemmy tries to pee outside. She'll go, "I'm like, Daddy, I wanna go do it." And then
Oh,
one day she just, like, tried to squeeze her little lips together, and I was like, "Can you not? Like, I gotta pee like Daddy." I was like,
oh,
he doesn't
man.
have lips."
Oh,
Oh,
man.
oh.
Maddie's, like, interested in potty training, kind of. I mean, to the point of where she's interested in sitting on the potty, and there's a potty book that they read at Nana and Papa's, and so
Mhm.
she likes that whole routine, and she'll even get a little toilet paper and, like, wipe and then be like, "Bye-bye pee, bye-bye poop," and there's
Cute.
nothing in there, but I'm like, "I'm just keeping it light and fun for now. We're not gonna push
No,
potty
she'll do it
training."
when she's ready.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Lemmy
"I
was
don't
over
want."
too when she decided to be
Yeah.
ready, and she just woke up one
I
day
need her
and
to
literally
be like,
said,
whenever it's go time, like, she's gotta be able to be fully I can pull my own pants down, hop up there, do the whole thing, you know what I mean?
"Yeah."
So I'm like, I'm not trying to be one of those moms. Have you ever seen the, oh, what do they call it? It's like conditioning potty training or something where they, like, start at 6 months
Oh,
old,
yeah,
and they just are, like, in tune with the cues. I'm like, "Oh, so you're
"We leave
literally."
him naked on a blankie," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's not
Or they're
us."
like, "Well, they made this one face, so then I just sit him on the potty until it works." I'm like, "That's weird." The
Potty
elimination.
training potty training is a journey for everybody, and I think
Yeah.
Lemmy was 2 months past 2 years old or 3 months
Oh, that's
past
not
2 years
bad.
old, and it was the second time we tried because daycare had said we had to try,
Yeah.
and it was oh, no, it was so we tried first at 18 months, and then it was 6 months later, and we tried the second time, and she still was, like, just not having it, and
Yes.
then all of a sudden it was like I suppose not 6 months later,
I
somewhere in
thought
there
she was
though.
closer to almost 2.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was close to 2. It was between 2 and 2.5.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of a sudden one day, after 2 times of failed trying where she didn't want to, she just like so she randomly was like, "I wanna poop in the potty." And we had a little her play toilet outside,
Yep.
not play, the little toilet outside, and when we had our pool set up, and I said, "Okay, sure, go ahead." And she gets out and I thought she was fake pooping, and all of a sudden she goes, "I pooped in the potty." And she would not do it on the regular toilet. She'd scream and cry. And so I was like,
Um,
"Did you?" And then I looked and there's a giant turd and I was like, "Yes, we did it." And I took pictures and sent it to all the grandparents and they were like, "Thank you for that."
I don't want to
And
see.
then she was like, "I'm gonna pee now." And then she peed on it. And so it was kind of, she would do that every couple days if we were outside. She wanted to use her play potty. And then all of a sudden, one day, she just woke up and said, "I want to wear panties today."
Hmm.
I said, "Okay, well, if you wear panties, you have to go in the toilet. You can't have an accident." Okay. And she did. She just
Wow.
like that. So when people say your kid will literally tell you when they're ready to be
Yep.
potty trained, believe them. Because
Yep.
I thought, man, she's so advanced in so many things. Like, how is she not doing this? Like, what the heck is
Well, and
wrong?
so I read this thing because I feel like a lot of our parents, I remember I think it was my grandma, or maybe my grandma was saying that my great grandma had all her kids potty trained by 18 months. And the thing that I kind of, or well, I guess what I read was that back then they did a lot more cloth diapering, and so the
Hmm.
kid feel the wetness, and now the diapers are so good at feeling
Absorbing.
dry and like whisking away the wetness, they don't feel that uncomfy
Yeah.
part where they're like, "Oh, ew," you know? So
Hmm.
that's where it's a little bit harder for us now, but still not gonna do cloth diapers. I just don't wanna.
Like, nope, nope.
Oh,
Um,
speaking of, our washer, you know how I said I was changing the belt on it?
yeah.
It's not the full fix of the problem,
Oh,
but I did find on YouTube there's this DIY guy, and he, like, played the sound of a washer that he had that he was fixing, and I'm like, "That's the sound!" And it's actually a clutch, which apparently it had, you know, it's got a motor, so it's like the clutch. Hold on, let me look because I actually had to order the parts today. It's the clutch, spring, and shifter, and then I have to check and see if the transmission pulley is okay. Otherwise, I might have to buy that too. But yeah, it's a whole thing because the little teeth are plastic, and so over time it just wears out, and so that's like it's like it's going "Ugh, ugh," and
yeah.
then sometimes it'll be a like really loud one, and
Because
so
it'll
they're just like
catch your
skipping
click.
kind of. Yeah. So
Um, just don't be lifting anything heavy without.
oh, I don't. No, Keith does this
Okay.
one, which I'm
Okay.
so happy that I
Okay.
that I did the dryer first because the dryer was a whole pull out everything the drum
Yeah, that one
included.
was heavy. You shouldn't have been
That
doing
was
that.
heavy, and that was a lot. So I feel great that I did that back then, but I was like, "I don't wanna do that now." And the washer, you just, like, tip it up, and everything's right on the underside. Super easy to get to, so but again, we
Um,
have the ancient one that doesn't have any sort of digital stuff on it, and so I'm like, I'm just determined to keep those things for as long as humanly possible because I'm
you go,
like,
girl.
they're easier to fix yourself, and so I'm like and cheaper. I just those are the things that last.
It's true. It's true.
Like, Home Improvement,
Yeah.
Al, the teacher over the fence?
Your
That's
neighbor.
why we can censor her.
She's perfect. It's
Yeah.
just, it's either Alan or her hair kind of looks like Dwight right now from The Office.
Yeah.
It's just split.
Oh.
um, Lemmy was pooping in the potty tonight, and Brooklyn was trying to look and see what was
Oh,
back
no.
there. And all of a sudden, Brooklyn goes, "Wow," with her binky in her mouth, and it fell out
It fell out in the toilet?
into the poop.
Oh, gross.
Yep.
So
So
did it get flushed down with it, or did you fish it out?
no, that would have done bad things. We had a long tongs
Oh.
that we don't use for anything. It's just like a kid's plaything. Maddie, aren't you ready for bed?
It is so past your bedtime. Are you sleepy?
Oh, dude. So Viv, she got all her vet stuff and everything's still high and whatever. And I had to get her proteins checked and her urine. And they called back and they were like, okay, so she does want you to start her on a kidney care dog food, like a prescription dog food. And I said, okay. and how much is that? And they said, well, we have it at the shop here. It's $45 for a 6-pound bag. I'm like, that's 1 week's worth of food.
Oh,
Sh-
no.
She goes, yeah. And I was like, no. And she goes, and she
200 a
also,
month.
she does think you should do the abdominal ultrasound, which they told me was $528. Y'all, I'm sorry. I love my dog, but she's going on 11 and she has a degenerative back disease that's, gonna do some bad stuff to her anyway. But I was like, they're like, and we want to check her for high blood pressure. I'm like, okay, we can check her blood pressure, but I'm not doing the ultrasound.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not spending $45. Her big bag of food that was like, or so I suppose a 12-pound bag lasts me a month is like 60. I buy good food for her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now this one, half that for 45. So I was like, no, just no.
Oof.
And she said to start her on like an omega supplement too. So I went to Petco today and I found a super senior mini dog food that Science Diet does that has like kidney function vitamins in it and stuff. So I was like, you know what? She's gonna get that. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
give her an omega-3 thing on top of her food. And I'm gonna buy her a kidney supplement to take. And that's gonna be what she gets.
Yep.
Like, I'm not spending. I spent, and just so everybody knows, I already spent $1,200 2 years ago to figure out that she maybe has Cushing's disease or maybe has a kidney issue. And
Yeah.
here we are 2 years later, and it's all the same. So why would I spend another $1,200?
And yeah, no kidding.
Like,
Especially if it doesn't really change the
right.
treatment.
And I told the vet, I was like, I mean, I could see if she needs to get on like blood pressure medicine, like we can do that. But I told her, I said, I'm about to have a very, very, very expensive surgery myself. Like, I can't be doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
She's like, oh. She's up on the rocking chair. Okay, just sit just like that. You could be my lighting girl, okay?
Yes.
Gotta make sure that
Camera
light's
one,
still on me.
camera 2. Camera 2. I
You're a
think camera
natural.
2. You're going to be a producer one day?
Yeah.
No, what's funny is like people always say you and I look like twins. And
Mm-hmm.
recently I haven't felt like it, but now like looking at us tonight right here, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
we really have the same shoulders. Like,
Yep.
we're the same outline.
We have like if we are the same across. Well, what did I see in our Christmas pictures when we
Yeah.
had our hair the same
Yeah.
and our makeup was really similar and we were wearing the same outfits? I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can see it. Oh, so it's
Yeah,
just funny.
I'm like, wow, we really have very similar silhouettes right now.
Yep.
Just not below the boobs.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You're skinnier still.
Boobs included.
Yeah,
Boobs included.
from right here, for the same.
Just whatever I find in there.
So how do you feel about going to 2 of these?
Well, it'll be what it'll be. At first, it will not feel like two, especially when it's in the potatoes.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, in the potato sack phase,
Yeah.
that'll be easy, I think,
Yeah.
just in general, because I can just wear him. That's what's so weird. It's a boy. I think it'll be easier when the baby is a newborn and a toddler phase. The hard part is the big emotions right now.
Yeah.
So, and they're only going to get bigger.
Yeah, and so are yours.
Yeah. Yep. But I think, your 2 kids were so close in age that you kind of have been going through the same stages the whole way through.
It's like one ends for the next one to start it.
Yeah. And mine will be a little bit more spaced, which also makes me forget some of the stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got to remember like the cries because of gas pain and having to help him fart, where she just knows how to do that now. So
You pick that stuff up. There's going to be times where you're like looking at something and you're like, what do I do for this? And all of a sudden you Google it and you're like, duh, I have that in my pantry. Why didn't I even think about that? How did I miss that? But then you get back to it pretty quick. But yeah, when they're the baby phase, the second kid, I'm like, oh, so easy. I knew what I was doing. I kept it alive.
I think back to like, I was so stressed or whatever the first time around with the baby. Like, oh my gosh, everything was so scary. And I remember when I was selling nails, there was a girl on my team, and she and I were talking a lot because I was like, "I can't even put her down to take a shower, and it's been however many days," and she was like, "You can put her down. If she cries, she cries. It's
Yeah.
fine. For 5,
Yeah.
10 minutes, whatever, like,
It'll
you
be
need to take
okay.
care of yourself." And I was like, "Okay. Are
I'll
you sure
try.
though?" I was like, "I feel like she's gonna break if she cries for too long." And
And
now I'm just like, "Oh, like, you
my
know."
biggest thing was I couldn't sleep because I was just like, if I have a good night's sleep, that's when she'll die from SIDS. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
anxiety brain.
Gonna worry again.
Obviously, once I got on anxiety pills, I was like, oh, the second
Yeah.
kid, I was like, she gonna sleep, I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah.
We gonna be good. Like, I was
Yep.
like, and then when she wouldn't go to sleep, I was like, come on, kid, I'm finally ready to sleep. And you
Yeah.
won't. But
It'll be interesting too to see because, she is so attached to me. Whoa. Even Keith was talking about too. He was like, sometimes I just feel helpless because she only wants you, or
yeah,
when I was saying the other day, or this weekend when she was sick, I was like, what am I going to do with two when like one of them is sick and wants me, say it's her, and he was like, I hold the other one. I was like, oh yeah. And I'm really bad at asking for help. And
yeah.
so he is luckily really good at being like, hello, I'm here. I can help you. So I just like forget about that. And I think he's really looking forward to us having to so that he can feel a little bit more needed. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing I was gonna say, and I know you and I have talked about it a little bit, is when you have one, it's so easy to feel resentment towards your partner because
Mhm.
especially when they're babies and you're breastfeeding and stuff like that. And for no fault of their own,
Yeah.
they don't have boobs to feed them. We do. And
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm the one who was up last night. I'm the one who this, and this, and I'm doing it all. And for the most part, it's like very woman sided resentment. But then as they start getting a little older, the men start feeling resentment too, because they're
Mhm.
like, you know, they will have a day where they do a bunch of stuff and they're like, well, I did it all and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And, I think it's funny because a lot of people will be like, oh, a relationship, they say like, well, just remember it's not 50-50. Some days it's 80-20 and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, but the thing about that is it has to be communicated.
Yeah.
So if people don't communicate that, hey, today's my 10%er, then the partner doesn't know. So then that just
Yeah.
doubles the resentment if you don't communicate that I'm freaking tired. I need a break. I can't give any more tonight.
Yeah.
And so there were days where I would be texting Rusty because Brooklyn was screaming, couldn't get her to stop because she was gassy and whatever. And Lemmy was crying because she wanted my attention, but Brooklyn had my
Mhm.
attention and waiting for him to get home. And then by the end, I'm crying by the time he gets home. And I'm just like, I need you to take them so I can go for a walk. And I was
Yeah.
like, I just need to get out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to snap. And I'm like, dude, it's that's the only hard part is because for a little bit there, you will go through a power struggle with her where she's going to be like, no, I want your attention. So if the baby cries, I'm
Mhm.
going to cry louder. I'm going to do
Yeah.
this louder. And I was joking with somebody the other day because they say a lot of Ehlers-Danlos people are actually autistic. And I said, I wonder if I have a touch of that because since I have had children, unless this is just a mom thing, maybe it is, but I'm like, I get overstimulated to the point where I feel like I could flip the F out if I've got too much sound around me, like too
Mhm.
many cries, whines, moms, like
Yeah.
it's like a breaking point, like, and it's that fast. Like, stop
And you
it.
know what's crazy? What I've noticed with that is that I think other people don't hear it as much. Like, even my grandma won't hear when she's incessantly saying something to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Hold on, wait, we just gotta stop for a second because I can't handle the TV's on." She's like, "Mom, mom," or this,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I can't."
And
Anyway.
and I remember before you guys even had her, like Rusty and I, because we went through it a few months before you, and I remember us telling you guys, I'm just telling you, you're going to go through resentment with each other where there are going to be days you hate each other. And you and Keith were in your honeymoon phase and very much like, that won't be us, not
Yeah.
us. And then I remember a game night after you guys had Maddie at one point, and you're like, yep, we've been there, done that. That's happened. And he's like, mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just so normal. And I
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's talked about enough how normal it is to, they say the first year with a kid is so hard for a couple because you're figuring all this out. You got to figure out the communication and everything. And I think that's the biggest thing is most people won't communicate when they're frustrated with their
Mhm.
partner. And sometimes you literally have to be like, can you please just do the dishes? Because I feel like I've done everything today and that's just the one thing that needs to be done and nobody's touching it. So do you think you could
Yeah.
just do it? And then it
Yeah.
might cause a fight, but you know what? The dishes are done and then tomorrow you guys are good.
Yeah.
And but the good thing is when you have two kids, there is no time to feel resentment towards the other person because there is a job for everybody. Both
Mhm.
partners have to be on, both people. And it was a conversation for sure for me and Rusty too, of like when she came, like, hey, when Brooklyn's here, it's gonna be a few months of because Rusty loves to play softball on Fridays and do his things. Like he's on his over 40 league, his old man league, and
Yeah,
sometimes
he is over 40, isn't he?
I know. And sometimes it was like late night games. And I'm like, dude, we have a chihuahua that barks the second you walk through the door.
Yeah.
We're back to having a baby sleeping right next to the bed. So
Mhm.
I told him, I said, I hate to be the person who says no, but no for a few
Yeah.
months and then I was like, I'm terrified to have two. I don't know how to do two. And so I was like, I need you here with me when we're both home with the kids. And you know me, I can't do a long weekend with my children. So I'm sure it'll be much easier for you. but,
How long
but,
did it take you to feel like you could, like, do it on your own for a night, like, a overnight or, like,
oh, and
a
overnight?
weekend or
Mm.
whatever?
A weekend just recently. An overnight, I probably did my first overnight by myself 8 months
Okay, yep.
or more.
Which I honestly I'm, like, trying to think if I've ever even had to do an overnight by myself with Maddie yet, and what was so crazy about that is thinking, like, "Oh, when we went on our honeymoon, Maddie was, like, a year old, and I don't think either Keith or I had ever done a night by
No.
ourselves or, definitely not a week, either of us by ourselves, and we were
You and I
just
did
like,
our Mother's
"Yeah,
Day night
grandma."
away.
Right, and so Keith had her by himself for the weekend, but, like, it's funny that we were like, "Oh, yeah, grandma, you got this."
And then no, and then
I
he
just
w
go home.
took Maddie to, his his parents' house.
Oh, that's right, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Um, which Kayla and I get salty about because we don't have family here to take our kids to, so when the husbands get to be like, "Oh, they're staying with the parents," it's like, "That's not fair.
Cop out.
That's a cop out. This should be hard for you." Um, no, okay, so then maybe because I was 2 months postpartum at your bachelorette party.
Mhm.
So Rusty did one night with them then, and I think
Yeah,
probably
right.
around them I did one
Oh, yeah,
no,
duh, so Keith would have done that one too,
that was my first
'cause
night
my
away.
grandma came with for the bachelorette party.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
only one night.
It's so crazy to think that you were that fresh out of birth, like,
Dude.
for the wedding and everything.
Yeah, I was 2 months postpartum for your bachelorette party, and I
Yep.
was, like, 2.5 months for your wedding.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot longer ago than that. I
Mhm.
mean, I feel like it was, like, 5 years ago that I got married.
Right.
But then I
Uh,
looked and I have to really think that's what's crazy too, so even, like, for kid birthdays and then, like, now wedding anniversaries, I get confused about the year because
same.
we were Maddie was born 2023, then we were married in 24, and now our next kid will be 26, so it's just like, "What?" It just the timeline is bizarre.
At Walgreens, they asked me, Brooklyn's middle name the other day, and I was like, "Uh"
Oh.
and she just looked at me, and I was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, I got a lot going on right now. What's my kid's middle name?" And once there's 2 so it was always confusing when you go to the doctor when you're a new mom, and they're like, "And what's the birth date?" And I'm ready to say mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, 3/31, and then I would say it, and then but then once you have 2, you're like especially when you're in the throes of, like, the newborn no sleep, and you go in for, like, the
Oh, yeah.
6-week appointment, the 1-month appointment, the 6-week appointment, whatever, and you're like, "Uh, hold on." It took me, like, 5 seconds
Like, I don't
every
even
single
know
time.
what day it is.
Yeah,
How am
I
I
was like,
supposed to know?
is it Tuesday?" What year were they born?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm like, "This one was January, this one's July, okay, July," ugh, it's so confusing. But no, I will say, as hard as two is, it's easier because it's equal work for both parents. You both have to take on so much. And eventually it gets to the point where it's like, oh no, you're good. Go do softball. Fine. Now she, once she was sleeping in her crib, then I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
now I don't care. I can lock Viv in my room. But before
Yeah.
it was like, if you wake this child when I have a chance to get some rest,
Yeah.
I'll shoot you.
Yeah. I feel like too, I kind of forgot how sick that I was with, the ulcerative colitis symptoms
Mm-hmm.
going on, even through the first year of her life. And so I feel like I'll be a little bit healthier, which
It's gonna be
is,
so different.
yeah. So I feel like my recovery after birth and everything should be better. And even just, I really didn't realize the mental, like, load that I had as far as when you're chronically ill,
Hmm.
it really puts a damper on any normal functions working correctly, and so then add the mom brain on top of that and it's worse. And so I even feel different with this pregnancy too. I feel like a little bit more with it so far.
Yeah.
I have mom
Because
brain moments, but it's not as bad.
did it ever go away while you were pregnant?
No, it got
The
worse.
ulcers?
My
Okay.
flaring. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So everybody knows we will be taking a break for like a month-ish.
yeah.
Um, so we can come back fresh face.
I'll go get her milk while you're updating your
Okay.
health stuff.
Okay. So I've got a heart monitor now. I have that on till Christmas Eve, and it's so freaking itchy. It's driving me crazy. As you can see, I'm like a little rashy from it. Well, and also I tried to do a Tachoderm strip thing to shower the other day. Guess what? It sticks to the whole thing and like rips it off. So that wasn't good. And it ripped my skin. So, anyways, I got the heart monitor, so we're checking what's going on with that because my heart does weird things where it'll drop to like 57 and then a half hour later it's at 140, and that's like while I'm just sitting at my desk doing nothing. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with that. They can't tell if I have the scary version unless I start having stroke symptoms or anything like that. So I've started genetic testing. We'll see what comes of that. That'll take a long time. It could take like 3 months to get my results. And then I have a colonoscopy because I went in, met with the colorectal surgeon. So now we're adding colorectal surgery to my list of things to do. So we're going to string everything up. And apparently they're going to put screws in my low back. And then with the vaginal mesh and the bladder sling for the intestine and everything, they're also going to sling up my rectum and everything. And they're going to attach it to the screws in the back. Fun stuff. So we're getting closer. So that's scary. So colonoscopy coming up and then surgery after that. So it is what it is. But that's our update for you guys. So we're going to go on a little break for our little winter break for ourselves here. And go us. We did 15 episodes.
Yeah, 16, I think.
16 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be 16, won't it?
Yeah, that's quite a bit actually.
We did great. Go us. I wish you could cheers me, but cheers. Cheers to your water.
It's from our chaos to yours.
Remember, you're doing better than you think you are, and you're probably funnier too. Bye-bye.